In 25 years of landlording, every single after-hours call that I received, every single call that came in on a weekend, every single call that came in at 2 a.m., I could tell you what, all stemmed from one mistake I made. And chances are you're about to make the same mistake. My name is Chatto, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that mistake is and what you can do to make sure that it never happens to you. The mistake is simple. You gave someone your personal cell phone number. Look, it's a personal cell phone number. Therefore, you should keep it personal. Every single call that I received on nights, on weekends, off hours is because someone has my personal cell phone number. And this is exactly what happens when you blur the lines. When you blur the lines between your personal life and your business life, you're going to run into these type of issues. At the end of the day, running a rental property is a business, and you need to treat it as such, which is exactly why I think these systems are so important to implement up front. Once someone has your cell phone number, it's pretty much impossible to take that back. Even if you set up something in the future to run it like a business, when they're not happy, they're going to call you on your personal cell, no matter what time it is. Now, I know what you must be thinking, like, what if there's an actual emergency? Let's go through that. Emergency number one that might come up, let's say a pipe burst and there's flooding everywhere. While yes, this is an emergency, it's not necessarily an emergency that you need to hear about at 2 a.m. So what I'm going to tell you is, if you follow me and if you follow my systems, when you move that tenant in, you brought them into the basement and you showed them exactly where that water shutoff is. You showed them how to shut the water off, and right, you explained to them like, hey, if there's an issue with water going everywhere and you need to shut the water off, this is how you do it. And the other thing, again, if you follow me, that you would have done is you would have made sure that that was an updated shutoff valve, not one of those old ones you got to crank around and around and around and hope that the water shuts off. But you have installed, it's well worth the money, a quick shutoff so that it's easy for the tenants to shut the water off when there's an emergency. They can call you at 2 a.m., they can leave a message, they've got the water shut off, and you can handle it in the morning. There's nothing you're going to do about it at that hour. Emergency number two, a fire. And while a fire is absolutely terrifying, and while a fire is absolutely an emergency, what are you going to do about it at 2 a.m.? Are you going to run out there and throw a water bottle at the house? Come on. There are men and women that are firefighters that are well trained, much better trained than you are, to go out there and handle the fire. Plus, they have the equipment. So when you moved your tenant in, you should have made them absolutely clear, made absolutely aware that, hey, if there's a fire, if anything happens, the first call you're making is 911 to get emergency services out to the property. There's not much you can do about it. So when the morning comes, you're going to be well rested and you're going to be able to deal with all the aftermath and all the drama that comes along with a fire at one of your properties. And unfortunately, it may happen, right? And it's something you need to deal with, but it doesn't need to wake you up at 2 a.m. Emergency number three, a backed up sewer line. And while that absolutely sucks and you absolutely do need to deal with it, again, you do not need to deal with it at 2 a.m. Are you going to run out there and clear the poo-poo from the line? Probably not. You're going to call a plumber. Is there a plumber available at 2 a.m.? Probably not. And if they are available, it's going to cost you a couple mortgage payments to get it handled. So you don't want to go that route. When you wake up in the morning, you'll get your message from your tenant and you'll deal with it then. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about that at 2 a.m. Even if it is a real emergency, there's probably not much you can do about it at 2 a.m. So taking that call at 2 a.m. is not going to help the situation. It's going to cause you to have a bad night's sleep. You're better off to get a good night's sleep and deal with it in the morning. That's the right answer for both you and your tenant. So letting it go to voicemail isn't irresponsible. It's just realistic. And here's the solution. You need to be a professional. And in order to be a professional, you need a professional phone service. Luckily, in today's day and age, it's very inexpensive to have a professional phone service. We use a simple product called Dialpad, and something like Dialpad is phenomenal. You can actually install an app on your phone so that you can say, hey, you know what, between the business hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., if someone calls, ring my phone, and you'll get the calls that come in during that time. And if you don't pick up, they'll go to voicemail. Any calls that come in outside of those hours won't even ring you. They will go right to voicemail. You can set up a phone tree. You can set up a professional message to pick up. And now the beauty of it is, as you grow and you have different team members, They can hit different options and it gets sent to different team members if you go that far. But you don't even need to go that far. Even just self-managing 2 to 3 properties, a phone system will go a long way. The beauty is you can also set up whatever kind of alerts you want. When somebody calls and leaves a voicemail, you can get an email if that's the best way for you to get, hey, a notification that you got a voicemail from a tenant or the city or from a vendor. Or the other thing you can do is you can set it up so that, it goes through and sends you a text message. There's so many ways to set it up once you have the professional phone system in place. That's the gatekeeper. That's what keeps people able to get in touch with you, but only able to get in touch with you when you want them to get in touch with you. It's a game changer. Now that you have your professional phone system set up, this is the critical rule that you need to follow. And it's simple. Don't give your personal cell phone to anyone. Anything associated with the property, you use your business phone number because you are a business and you are acting professionally. Don't do it any other way. So now, it's important that you use your business line to call people back, not your personal cell, because guess what? They're going to save your personal cell phone number when it shows up on your caller ID. And now here's a little hack for you. If you find yourself in a situation where you need to call the tenant and all you have access to is your personal cell phone number, it's simple. *67. You dial *67 before the phone number and hit send. And guess what? It's going to come up as a restricted number and they're not going to have your cell phone number. That's how you do it. Tenant training matters. And when you move them in, you need to set the expectation for communications. You need to set the expectations. If they call at 2 a.m., they're probably going to get a voicemail. And you need to set the expectation, hey, if there's an issue with water flooding, this is where the water shutoff is. If there's a fire, you call 911. If you smell gas, you call the gas company, right? You need to set the expectation and train your tenants up front so that they're not completely confused about why you're not answering the phone at 2 a.m. When you get a call at 2 a.m., it's not because there was an emergency. It's for one reason. It's because you gave out your personal cell phone number. When you give out your personal cell phone number, you're going to get calls all times of the day. And you need to remember, this is a business. You need to treat it as such. And as a business, you need a professional phone system. I am absolutely convinced that just with a few systems that I can show you how to put in and implement into your business, you can easily, while working your full-time job, pick up 2 to 3 rentals, if not more. And those rentals will absolutely solidify your future and your retirement. So feel free to go to my website, chatwithchatto.com. I'd love to have a quick consultation with you to see if there's anything I can help you do to reach your goals. And please, don't sit on your tushes. Go out there and make something happen.